Now, I'm somebody who holds to the belief that we should be fully informed all the way around before making decisions. And I'm one of those people that, yeah, I'm the fuddy duddy that doesn't like to jump in feet first without seeing how deep the puddle goes. And so that's why I talk about things like this. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach, the WretchedWatchmen. I'm bringing you a little bit of news, more on the politics and Trump front of things. Now, I often get called many things because I talk about this, and I'm connected to the prophecy, Christian, conservative type of community. And the fact is I'm one of those people where I believe that we need to be fully informed all the way around on things. Unfortunately, in this area of things, this arena of Christian prophecy and whatnot, we have countless people that are always informing on every last detail when it comes to how evil the left is, which it absolutely is, no arguments from me. But they refuse to touch on anything regarding what's going on with Trump and the Republican side of things. And maybe they'll just say, you know, it's on both sides, but then they don't go any further than that. And I don't think that that's the right angle, because we need to be fully informed all the way around. Again, when we read from Matthew 24, when Jesus says, do not be deceived, he doesn't say do not be deceived with these exceptions, including when it comes to the right side of American politics. It doesn't say anything about that. He doesn't say that. No, he says do not be deceived. And one of the biggest ways of being deceived is being uninformed, or choosing to be uninformed, because you don't want to have your feelings hurt, or you don't want your bubble burst. And so that's why I choose to spend a lot of time. Everybody knows who watches this how evil the left is. You've heard it from 500 different people already. Why do I need to rehash the same stuff that they're doing? How many people are actually pointing this stuff out? And so that's why I tend to spend some time talking about this. And so there's a few clips here, straight from the horse's mouth, straight from Trump's mouth, that bring me concern. And if you've been following my channel, you know I've done several things where I point out the laundry list, to say the least, of things that Trump and his administration have been a part of that are absolutely horrific. And so when we see some stuff like this, it just tends to go more and more and stack more and more into that list of things. Now, one of the big ones out there has to do with the CBDCs, the digital currencies, and all this type of stuff. We've been following this for a long time. We understand that this is what countries and the bigwigs, talking heads, the Luciferian cabal, they want to introduce. We also read within Scripture that we know that there's going to be some type of one world currency, one world financial system that's going to be involved. Whether it's going to be the CBDC or something like that, we don't know. That's just the closest thing that we've got that looks like that it fits that hole. So we just kind of roll with it, but we don't plant our flag, obviously. But it seems to be rolling in the way of digital, like the rest of this system is that they're building. Well, Trump, at the recent Bitcoin Nashville 2024 event, well, he spoke on Bitcoin. Let's hear what he has to say.
And so, as the final part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%. I hope you do well, please. This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. As you know, most of the Bitcoin currently held by the United States government was obtained through law enforcement action. You know that they took it from you. Let's take that guy's life. Let's take his family, his house, his Bitcoin. We'll turn it into Bitcoin. It's been taken away from you because that's where we're going now. That's where this country is going. It's a fascist regime.
So this is one of those things where I know a lot of freedom fighting conservative patriotic people will go, yeah, yeah, he's going to the freedom coin, the Bitcoin, and that type of stuff. But I'm sitting here trying to tell you, tone that down, because anytime the government gets their hands on anything like this, it all goes south. And he's talking about creating a Bitcoin stockpile reserve for the United States government. You can't tell me that that's a good thing. You just can't. I'm under the belief, and I this is just my own personal opinion. I don't have anything to, you know, show you or anything like that. I think the Bitcoin thing has just been a giant psyop to begin with, honestly. But that's just me. But still, even if it's not, even if it is a real thing, which still nobody knows who created that thing. There's different great theories out there about who it was and whatnot, but nobody knows. But even if it is a real thing, the moment that the government gets their hands on it, it's all over. And so he's wanting to build a reserve stockpile of digital currency. That's what he's trying to do. And so isn't this the same stuff that we've been smashing the talking heads and the left for how long about trying to do? He's trying to do the exact same thing, and you're going to cheer that on. It's the same thing like when it comes to his freedom cities that he's talked about. Look at what those are actually, how they'll operate. It's the same thing as a 15-minute city. But because it's Trump and it's called a freedom city, it's different and worth celebrating. No, it's the same thing, just a different coat of paint on there. You're just continuing to root for your own enslavement. That's really what's going on. But so how is that going to happen? I've done the Trump card video where I talked about how he's working with the Silicon Bros to create like the Manhattan projects. He wants to advance AI, make America first in AI. He wants to blow up the digital infrastructure, the surveillance state, and the biometric state and everything. I've gone over all that stuff already. Trump's all wrapped up in getting that to expand. That's why he's connected with the people that he is and putting on the projects for his administration that he wants to do. What about the energy? The left has been talking about energy too. We got to go digital. We got to do all this. We have to do energy and everything. Well, is he doing the same thing? Let's take a look.
But we will be creating so much electricity that you'll be saying, please, please, President, we don't want any more electricity. We can't stand it. You'll be begging me, no more electricity, sir. We have enough. We have enough.
So he's over there pumping for electricity, so much so that even the United States citizens are going, we have enough. That's too much. It's too much. Stop doing it. Why would we need that much electricity? Well, because his entire administration wants to build an electronic state. Surveillance, pre-crime, the DEEP program that him and William Barr, the deep state monster, we're putting on, that we're constructing. Things with Palantir and Anduril and all these surveillance, AI, and military industrial complex organizations that they've been trying to do, not only for across the seas, but on its own citizens and everything. You need electricity, a high level of electricity to do this. I've even talked about 6G stuff, which Trump, in the Trump card I talked about, was wanting to roll out the advancement of 6G as quickly as possible. Well, I've talked about how with 6G, a lot of it is using humans to be batteries to power this stuff up. And so, again, we're seeing that he wants to do the exact same stuff as these other guys that we've been talking about forever, WEF and the Klaus Schwab and the UN and all these guys that have been trying to get this digital electronic state going. He's wanting to do the same thing. He's just putting different names on it and putting it into an area where the right are literally rooting for their own enslavement. Why? Because it's Trump, because the cult of personality continues to take over. Now, another area I have to get asked, do you think that there's going to be an election? Do you think, if there is, who's going to win? Who's going to do what? We don't know. We don't know. I don't like to speculate on that stuff, but I have said that I have 3 different outcomes that I've been thinking would happen. One is there won't be an election. Some type of chaotic event will be unleashed, and so they'll just stick with status quo, and that'll be the end for that. So that's one outcome. The other one is Trump wins, and then he will actually be killed. He'll become a martyr, and I think that'll be perfect to start up a civil war. So that's possible. The other one that I've been holding in my back pocket for a while, and it seems to kind of be going, I've seen some hints going in that direction on this one, is Trump will win and he'll become a dictator. Maybe not day one. Even though back in 2023, he said he'll be a dictator on day one in order to do stuff, but we're not going to get into that. Maybe not by day one, but maybe slowly work into it. Remember, even Hitler didn't slowly work and become a dictator in the day one. He slowly worked that way, but maybe it'll be the same thing. And the reason why I say that is because that would be the perfect thing. You go, hey, I just need to declare martial law for just a little while in order to take down the deep state. And you will literally have everybody supporting that idea. Go back even 2020, 2021, people even on the right, the conservatives, the patriots, were even saying he needs to declare martial law in order to do this type of stuff. That's right. The same people that are going for freedom literally wanted to make him a dictator who will declare martial law. And so one of the steps in that direction has to do with creating a Gestapo-like force. Well, let's hear what Trump had to say.
That we're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
Federal immunity to police officers. Now, this is a tricky one because we look at what's going on out there and it's absolute lawlessness. We see that, but I've seen enough to tell you that there's absolute lawlessness going on with the police as well. It's gang versus gang violence out there. And I'm not saying every single police officer is like that. There are some good ones, but the increase of gang-like police officer stuff is happening out there. And so what you're doing is we've already got a police state going on across the United States. And now you want to grant federal immunity on top of that, where they will just be able to get away with whatever they want with no repercussion. Again, you may be a back to blue person. That's fine. I believe that we fully need law and order. The Constitution says that. However, the Constitution specifically says it needs to be elected officials that are part of the law and order enforcement. That means sheriffs, things like the police and all the other different law enforcement agencies are actually unconstitutional. But again, that's a different conversation for a different day. But ultimately, he's declaring for federal immunity for the police. That's a very dangerous thing that could be a fact in something that a dictator would do. Just something to think about. Now, this last one is one that I know a lot of people in the Christian community have seen. I've seen a lot of people reference it specifically for one spot. I'm not going to make any comment on that specific thing because there's so much division on it, and maybe it was a flub, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not going to even give you my opinion on that. We're not going to discuss it. I just want to talk about one thing. So let's go ahead and hear from him.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
This one's cryptic, man. This one's cryptic. And I know he came out and he was asked the question about what did he mean by that, and he just was all over the place on his answer. Nothing satisfactory for me. You can go and look that up if you want to. But this one's cryptic. Get out and vote, Christians. This is the last time. Once I'm elected, it'll all be fixed and you'll never have to vote again. What does he mean by fixed? Does he mean I'm going to fix everything and take care of all the problems, and so you'll never have to vote again? That doesn't make any sense. That's what he tries to explain away in that other interview where he tries to, explain what he means. That doesn't make any sense. How is that going to work? He wasn't able to fix anything in the first time. He actually added to the deep state. And again, I've gone over all that stuff. We're not going to go over everything. Or is it he plans to go in there and fix it as in I'll just be the final ruler, the last president? I don't know. It's cryptic. I'm not telling you one way or the other. I just wanted to share this to you and tell you that's a very odd thing to say. to say the least. Plus, he's saying it at the Turning Point event, which, again, in the Trump card, I talked about how Charlie Kirk and his Turning Point thing is all wrapped up in this giant media, alternative media empire that Trump and his administration and people have been creating. It's all wrapped up in that. So it's just fascinating. And he's pointing to the Christians. I just have questions on that. That's very interesting, very cryptic. But again, I just wanted to play this stuff, point it out, and make sure everybody's informed of what's going on. Again, we've heard 1,000 times all of the bad stuff that's going on the left, and I fully agree. It's absolutely horrific. But I believe, and I've talked about how this is part of this Hegelian dialectic of creating this this societal move where you push the left so far left and so far evil that it appears that the only choice is to go with the right side, which has also been pushed to the left, where they're literally supporting the exact same stuff and helping to create the exact same stuff that we're against. But we're under this illusion that, well, those are the only choices that we have. And since they're so evil over here on the left, I have no choice but to vote for these people. So again, it's just, you're telling yourself a comfortable lie on the fact of, well, the right is better and Trump's going to fix everything, when in fact, I've proven more times than I can count that he's a part of the club and he's building the exact same stuff that the left is doing. Again, I just think we need to be fully informed. And I think we're doing a terrible job in the Christian prophecy arena when it comes to making sure that we're all informed of what's going on. Again, I'm not telling anybody to vote or not to vote. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for. I will never do that, and I have never done that, even though I see a lot of people out there saying that I am. Never once have I said that. I'm just making sure, be informed and let the Lord lead you on what to do when it comes to this stuff. Don't stay ignorant. Don't stay ignorant. I think that's very dangerous and a good way to be deceived. That's just my perspective. So I just wanted to bring you some information, show you some stuff straight from the horse's mouth when it comes to what's going on. And again, our only hope is in Jesus Christ. And the closer we get to, well, the further we get into these last days, the closer we get to that rapture, it's becoming ever more apparent, at least to me. I let go of the world a few years ago. I'm glad that I did, because I have a lot more peace when it comes to stuff like this. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm Zach, the Wretched Watchman. I'll let you guys go. You guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Maranatha.